Why the fuck am I doing this to myself? Hello and welcome. You've probably seen this kind of video pop up in your recommended now hundreds of times. But have you seen anyone do it on Ark Survival? I haven't. And being the absolute god that I am at Ark Survival Evolved, I figured I'd be the best person for the job. Although the title does say 100 days, I figured out while doing this that days go a lot slower in Ark Survival Evolved than they do in Minecraft. So this probably won't be 100 days, but it will be episodes that I'm going to break down going to 100 days. I'll try to keep track of the days as best as I can, but this will probably just be me learning how to play Ark and trying to have fun when I do it. So after I'd gotten all my tools early game, I started to gather as much resources as I can. And I was putting all of my I'm not really sure what to call these, we're going to call them upgrade points. I was putting all of my upgrade points into weight, because the more that I can carry, the better my resource collection is going to be, and that will help me further on down the line. Once I got the resources, I crafted a few spears and headed to the beach to begin the mass extinction of the dodos. Hide is a fairly important resource in this game, and dodos are easy to kill, and they drop quite a lot of it. So killing them seemed to me like a no-brainer. After killing dodos for a while, I found this thing. No idea what it was. Curiosity got the better of me. I ran over. I wanted to investigate what it was, and I could access its inventory. I thought there was something good in there. There was nothing. And then I thought it got hostile because it slapped at me, so I ran away like a little bitch. After a little bit of running, I found this island. But I also found these Dilophosauruses. And I hate Dilophosauruses. They are the worst thing in this game. So obviously, me being me, I went up to attack them. My spear broke straight away. So that wasn't good. And then it got worse, because I saw a second one. God help me. And this is the exact reason why I hate Dilophosauruses. They spit on your face. No one wants spit on their face. After a demanding and challenging battle, I'd managed to kill them both. And I think it's fair to say I was quite excited. Now, I liked where this island was. It was close to the mainland, so I could run in and grab resources, but it wasn't close enough so that I could get dunked on by a T-Rex while I'm minding my own business. Also, there were plenty of trees and bushes so that I could grab the resources I need to build myself a base. I started off by making a thatch 2x2, however this was completely pointless, because by the time I'd finished building it, I was already upgrading it to wood. Nevertheless, I did build a base, and although it wasn't good, it felt like home. After seeing how much wood it was going to cost me to upgrade this base, I started a genocide of the trees. After destroying the majority of what was giving me oxygen on this island, I decided to hunt down this dodo, because the entire time that I had been mining that wood, all I could hear was this little fucker chirping in my ear. I don't even know what the fuck you call a dodo making a noise, but it was pissing me off, so I wanted to kill it. The chase took a lot longer than I had anticipated. I didn't care that I was slow, I just wanted it to be dead. And although I had thrown all my spears at it, it still hadn't died. So I ran after it with my axe, even though I was hitting it forward. But it didn't matter, because I killed it in the end. Little bastard. After dropping off all the resources to the base, I got distracted again. I saw a white glowing thing in the distance, and I wanted to know what it was. So without any concern for my safety, I dove, I wasn't say head first, but it wasn't really head first. I dove feet first into the ocean, and began swimming towards it. Turns out it was a supply crate. Wasn't a lot of useful things in here. I could have got these on my own, but I suppose it saved me the time of going out and getting them. I saw a Dilophosaurus, so I ran away. In the time that it took me to run back to my shelter, the weather had gone to shit. So I hopped into my base, where I knew I could dry off and be safe. Much better. After removing any sign of an ecosystem on this island, I was able to place 3 walls on my base. This was going to take a lot longer than I thought. So, with no alternative, I headed back out into the wild and began destroying the environment again. After grabbing the remaining supplies out of my chest, I was able to finish off this base and make it feel a little bit more like a home. And just like that, I had managed to make myself a full wooden base, and it hasn't even been a day yet. I'm still naked, but I do have a fully wooden base. Now, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, please do remember to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out and lets me know that you guys want to see more of this. The next thing that I did was I made some standing torches to put outside my base, because I figured that if I couldn't see my base in the dark, I was going to be totally fucked. Also, I just recently unlocked the bigger storage boxes, so instead of having these tiny little storage boxes, I figured I'd upgrade to the bigger ones. However, that did mean taking the roof off because they didn't fit. So now I had to do even more base reconstruction. After exiting my base, I saw that a dodo had shit on my beach. I don't know whether or not it was trying to prove that it was dominant to me, but I knew what I had to do. And I fucking choked. You win this time, Mr. Dodo. Anyway, moving on pretty quickly before I get taken down for beating up an animal, I started to build up the second layer of walls to my base. Also during this time, I decided that I didn't want to be naked anymore, so I crafted some hide clothing. All that was left to do to make this base whole again was to put a ceiling back on it, so that's exactly what I did next. Now I was just going about my day when I heard this. When I told you I shit myself, I mean it. I had to spend like 30 minutes cleaning, it was disgusting. So I went out to see where this raptor claws was, and he was nowhere near my base. I don't even know where he was. And honestly, I don't know if I want to encounter him. So I will probably be trying to avoid him. Also, it turns out I'd left this storage crate out here with a couple of things in it. So I grabbed them and moved them back into the base. I also decided to rename my storage boxes so that I'd know what belongs where. And you may notice that I'm spamming the number 7. That is only because I have a broken keyboard, and for some reason the number 7 is constantly pressed down. I also finally crafted some campfires so that I'd have food, or a place to cook the meat that I have. It was also now that I made a bow and arrow. I knew that tranquilizer darts, or arrows, sorry, would be really crucial for me for taming a dinosaur when it came around to that. So having a ton of arrows in reserve and some narcotics already made on my mortar and pestle, I figured that now would be a really good time to make a bow. After grabbing some food from the campfires, I was eager to test out my new bow. And I got attacked by 2 compies as I was heading down the beach. I didn't think these were that bad. But no, they could be quite scary when there's a lot of them. Now I figured the next best thing that I could get in Ark would be metal tools. So I spent a little bit of time smashing my hands and tools against a rock. I was doing this so I'd be able to get a refining forge so that I could smelt any metal I got while breaking these rocks. I decided that one wasn't enough, so I started to break more rocks so that I'd get metal and stone at the same time so I could craft another one. With both of them placed down, I started to smelt all of the metal that I got so that I could make a smithy, which is required to make the metal tools. It was also about now that I started to upgrade and unlock to stone walls. I didn't build any this episode, because that's just going to take a lot of time, and I think it'd be best to just save it till episode 2. After getting distracted again, I dove into the ocean to go after this green survival beacon or supply pod. I can't even remember what they're called. It was the worst decision I've made this entire time playing, because I ran out of stamina, and I moved so slowly when I was out of stamina. It was the worst thing. Look at my speed. Look at my speed. So I think I realised that this wasn't a good idea, and I turned around, and it took me so long to swim back. This is 8 times faster than what I did, And it is still taking so long. After making it back onto land, I sprinted home, terrified by what had just happened, wanting to hide away for the rest of my life. With the narcotics that I had made, I was going to make some tranquilizer arrows for next episode, so that I could go out and try and tame a dinosaur. And I finally crafted that smithy. I figured this is a good place to leave episode 1. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to let me down in the comments, like, and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you guys in the next episode. See ya.